Hello everybody, Josh Couture back here again with another video, and today I bring you another top 5. Yes, it's that time of the week again, and today I'm going to give you another DC top 5, but today it's going to be a little different from my usual top 5 DC stuff. Today I'll be giving you my top 5 DC characters that should be a part of the CW universe. Now, as we all know, the CW has done a great job at bringing us great comic book TV shows, stuff like Smallville and Arrow and The Flash, and they just continue to surprise us and do an amazing job with presenting awesome comic book content. Now, this year is definitely a great year to be a comic book fan because we have a lot of stuff to look forward to, not only with the movies, but with TV. We have so many new up-and-coming TV shows that we have to look forward to. I mean, we have Krypton, we have Supergirl, and we have Titans, so there's definitely a lot of stuff to look forward to, but there's still a whole lot of DC characters from the DC universe that CW is yet to really get into and are not really allowed to because of Warner Brothers. And even though that has changed over the course of the last year alone, last couple years alone, it's just one of those things that we just want to see these characters already. And of course, everybody's different, but this is going to be my personal list of characters that I want to see from the DC universe be a part of the CW. So, of course, before I get started, this is subjective. It's my personal list. So, if anybody does disagree with me or want to tell me their personal list, in the comment section below, let me know what is your top 5 DC characters that should be a part of the CW. Anyways, let's get started right on this list. Coming up at number 5 has to go down to Nightwing. Nightwing is definitely one of the most badass characters from the DC universe, and it's a character that all of us fans have been waiting for to be presented to us in a live-action format. And this year we're actually going to be getting that. Nightwing will be the leading character in Titans, which is TNT's live-action adaptation of the Teen Titans comic book, and Nightwing will be the leading character of that team/series. But the sad thing is that because it's owned by TNT, we are unaware of as to whether or not it is or ever going to have a connection to the CW, or will Nightwing ever cross over with the CW universe, like The Flash and Arrow. Which is why it's so low on my list, because even though I really want to see Nightwing, a live-action Nightwing, especially a version of Nightwing on the CW, we still are getting a live-action Nightwing. Like, as we speak, they're filming the pilot this year for Titans. So, Nightwing is right around the corner. So, even though I would love to see Nightwing in the CW, we're already getting a live-action Nightwing. So, it's not really that big of a deal, but it's just one of those, nitpicky things that I'm I just really want to see it. And plus, Arrow's already referenced the Bat universe so much that it just makes sense to have Nightwing in there already. So I just wish they could just do it already, but TNT already has it done, so we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens with TNT's Titan series. So, but anyways, moving off of that, coming up at number 4 is the character of Booster Gold. Now, Booster Gold, as you all may or may not know, is a DC character of the DC Universe who is actually from the future. He's from his time period, he's really a nothing. He definitely lives in a point in time where, superheroes have already come and gone, and he wants to have some of that fame and glory. So he basically takes a superhero costume from his time period that gives him superpowers, and gets a time-traveling device and goes through time saving people so he can become famous and popular. So he's definitely one of the most comedic and very worth watching kind of characters. And he's been referenced here and there throughout the DC universe, even the cinematic universe. And he's also already made his appearance on the CW with Smallville. But as we all know, Smallville has already come and gone. It's already done its own thing. And right now, it's where it kind of counts. With stuff like The Flash, I just feel like Booster Gold would just work perfectly. I mean, we already know that The Flash has kind of implied towards the idea of time travel, and we already know that inevitably Barry is going to time travel at some point, so it's only a matter of time until we get more time traveling characters like Booster Gold. So, in my opinion, I think it's just a matter of timing, and I just hope the CW can use Booster Gold once again. And I just think it's hysterical, and I just want to see, a Booster Gold either TV series or Booster Gold supporting role on the Flash. That would be pretty badass. But anyways, moving off of that, going into number 3 has to go to the Green Lantern Corps. And as we all know, the Green Lantern series is definitely a very popular series of comic books, and we grew up with Green Lantern. Green Lantern is definitely one of those characters that we all know and love. He's definitely a main supporting character of the Justice League, and there's variations of Green Lanterns. We have our Hal Jordans, we have our John Stewarts, and then we have the various other aliens out there, and also the different types of Green Lantern Corps. Like the yellow ones, the red. It just continues to go on and on from there. So, in my opinion, I don't think we necessarily need a specific type of Green Lantern, but as long as we have some sort of form of the Lantern Corps on the CW, I would be personally happy. The CW has yet to really, done Green Lantern or any of the Lanterns, and I just want to see them actually try and get it accomplished. And plus, the Flash has already made various reference not only to Hal Jordan, but to the Lantern Corps. If you've seen the Flash and Arrow crossover, there was a reference to the Lantern Corps, so it would be kind of awesome and badass if they would finally, get to do it. And plus, I'm pretty sure Jeff Johns would love to fucking write that shit, seeing as how he loves Green Lantern. So I personally I think it's a matter of timing, and they have talked about it. They kind of like spit the idea of like whether or not Green Lantern would have his own TV series or could appear on the Flash or Arrow universe. So it's just, once again, one of those things that I just really want to see CW accomplish. I want them to do Green Lantern. Green Lantern, sad but true, but failed in the movie series, so it's just a matter of timing so he can get some redemption in the TV series. So that's just what I want to see. And once again, I don't necessarily think we need a specific Green Lantern, as long as we just delve into, or at least introduce, the Lantern universe in the CW. I'm alright. I'm not saying we have to have a Hal Jordan come in and just hang out with Barry. I'm just saying, as long as the Lanterns are somewhere and we know they exist, that's awesome. I'm just saying. Anyways, moving up for that, coming up our number 2 on my list has to go down to Blue Beetle. Yes, Blue Beetle himself. I think he's a badass character. He's definitely one of my personal favorite DC superheroes, and I think he would just be an amazing addition to the CW universe, especially with the Flash and Arrow universe. And unfortunately, and sadly, for those of you who don't know, CW has actually tried to get a live-action Blue Beetle done in the CW before. After they did Smallville, their intentions were to try and do a Blue Beetle series. They actually filmed a pilot, if I'm not mistaken, or at least tried to do one, and that kind of failed, and Warner Brothers pretty much, gave them shit for it. And then, over the course before Arrow Season 3 went into production, the original idea was to have Brandon Routh play Blue Beetle. It was actually written that Brandon Routh's character would originally be Blue Beetle. He was never supposed to be the Atom. But Warner Brothers kind of came in and basically said that, okay, well, you can't really use Blue Beetle because we have future plans for him. And even though the idea that Warner Brothers wants to hold on to Blue Beetle and use him for other different types of things, possibly the cinematic universe, that idea does make me feel good and definitely is awesome. But at the same time, I just think the CW has done such a great job at presenting characters like Blue Beetle that it just feels better to have him at least be introduced in that universe. And not to mention, they've already made various references to Blue Beetle. If everyone's an Arrow fan, if you go back and watch Season 2, there's various references to Blue Beetle. So it was kind of one of those sad things that we almost got over the course of Season 3, but just didn't really happen. But anyways, as much as I really want to continue with this list, I'm just going to stop here and open up a couple of honorable mentions that that didn't get on my list, and then I'll end it with my number 1 pick, as always. Starting off with my honorable mentions is Wonder Woman. I think Wonder Woman's a character that I personally love and would love to see have her own TV series again. It's been a pretty decently long time since her last TV series debut, and even though the CW has also tried, like Blue Beetle has tried to get a series of Wonder Woman off the ground, they even filmed a pilot, which I'm pretty sure everyone has seen. even though I was not a huge fan of the pilot that they filmed, I still would have liked to have seen what they could have accomplished with Wonder Woman. CW, they did Superman, why not get to do Wonder Woman? I mean, like, they made Clark Kent look believable as a superhero without having him be called Superman. So it would have been cool to see how they could have done that with Wonder Woman, but based off the pilot, I guess it's something that the CW and Warner Brothers couldn't really accomplish doing at that time. But then again, we have Gal Gadot, so I guess it depends on your personal opinion on what you feel about that. But anyways, moving off of that, another character I would love to see is Aquaman. Aquaman is another character that CW filmed a pilot for to go to series, and it never really happened, just like the Wonder Woman's pilot. And even though I'm a huge Aquaman fan, I was also not really that big of a fan of the pilot that they filmed. But once again, we already are getting Aquaman in the movies and his own solo movie. So, and plus Jason Momoa, the badass, is going to be playing Aquaman. So I'm feeling good about that. But at the same time, it still would have been cool if Aquaman was a part of the CW universe. Anyways, another character that I would love to see is Supergirl. Supergirl is already getting her own live-action TV series this year, and the only reason she didn't get on my list, similar to Nightwing, is because not only is because she's getting her own live-action series, it's because Greg Berlanti, if I'm not mistaken, had stated not too long ago that allegedly, folks, Supergirl may or may not have a crossover with the Flash and Arrow. So it's quite possible that, nevertheless, at some point in time, once the Supergirl comes on TV, we will end up, some way or another, having a Supergirl crossover with the Flash and Arrow. So that's something that I kind of am expecting. So Supergirl may or may not end up being a part of the CW universe this year. So I guess it's just a matter of timing on that front. But I would still love to see her. Or Power Girl. I'm just saying, people. I really want to see a live-action Power Girl. One of these days, I wanted to see it in the movies, but I don't think that's going to happen. So why not the TV series? I know they would change her drastically, but I'm just saying I would really want to see that. Anyways, moving off of that, coming up on my number one pick for this list of DC characters that I want to see be a part of the CW universe is the Dark Knight, Batman himself. Yes, the character of Batman you guys already know, he's my favorite comic book superhero of all time. He's my favorite DC superhero comic book of all time. And he's just a badass. I just love, every portrayal of him, even the goofy ones. And I can't wait to see Ben Affleck's version of Batman. I'm pretty sure it's going to be badass. And if it's not, I'm going to be highly freaking disappointed. But I would love to see Batman be presented in the DC CW universe, as we all would. Ever since the conception of Smallville, we've all wanted to see Batman join up with the CW. But that's never really happened. The CW has tried desperately over the years. Hell, even before Smallville, even before they were even called the CW, back when they were just the WB or whatever, they always wanted to try and get a Batman TV series off the ground. And that never really happened. And they tried to do it with Smallville, but that didn't really happen. And then, they've tried desperately to try and get Batman to cameo on Arrow, but that has lacked desperately. So the CW has tried time and time again to get Batman on their series, but Warner Brothers, of course, being the money makers that they are, just want to keep on that fucking gravy train to themselves. So it is a sucky thing, and it's a personal character that I love, that I would want to see done amazing with the CW. And I know the CW would do Batman justice. I'm pretty sure all of us know, and I would love to see Batman have his own TV series again, in a good one. It's been years since Batman was on TV, and even though we do technically have Bruce Wayne on TV, that's Kid Bruce Wayne, and that's very unfortunate. So at the end of the day, I just want to see Batman on the CW, and hell, even the creators want that to happen. Greg Berlanti or it was either Greg Berlanti or someone is associated with Arrow, definitely was interviewed not too long ago, basically asked what type of like DC character that we can expect or what you would want to appear on Flash or Arrow, and his first choice was in the interview was Batman. That was the number one character that he always wanted to have on Arrow or on the CW. And even though he stated himself that it's more than likely never going to happen, you just never know, because obviously the CW has done so many great things with Arrow, and they have been able to get characters that they have never really thought they could ever get, like Huntress and Deathstroke and Ra's al Ghul. So based off that, I can pretty much guess that even though Batman may or may not appear any point in time on the Flash or Arrow, it's possible that it could happen one day. You just never know. It's a very interesting thought. But overall, Batman's my number one pick. I would love to see him on the CW. I'm just saying, like, before the Arrow ends their series, which will be possibly maybe season 5-ish, I want to see Batman appear. I'm not saying he needs to be a part of the TV series. I mean, I'm just saying, a cameo, Ben Affleck. Cameo! I'm just saying, come on, guys. This is what CW needs to do. They need to just meet up with Ben Affleck. He has a couple in him. I don't know, something happened, and then you just slip him a check and just whisper in his ear very gently, just appear on our show. Just say that very gently and just like hope he fucking shows up. Just slip him the check and just be like, appear on the show, please. And then that's it. Ben Affleck, Batman on Arrow. Never gonna happen. That entire scenario is bullshit, I know, but come on, can't we believe? I just want to believe that could happen one day. I'm just saying, Batman, CW, needs to happen. But nevertheless, that has been my list. I hope you guys enjoyed my top 5 DC characters that I think should be a part of the CW. Anyways, in the comment section below, let me know what you personally thought about my list. What did you think about my video? And of course, what is your top 5 DC characters you want to see in the CW? Let me know in the comment section below. Subscribe to my channel if you've not done so already, and I will be back next week with another top 5, and I'll give you a hint. It will be anime related. Yes, I'm getting back my first anime top 5 of 2015. I hope you guys are ready for that. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed, and this has been John 12.